And here we go. Alright, this is just setting up my grid. This is the goal state. This is the start state. Setting the colors for it. Build my Q table right here. Initialize random weights. Set rewards. Then this is my loop for creating random obstacles. Setting the reward to a low level. I started out at -1, but it was nearly impossible for my agent to learn at -1. So I set it to -0.15 so that I could run at higher levels of, what you want to call it, exploitation sooner. This is constructing the E-table with 0 weights. Let's see. This is where I was beating my head against the wall for a while. I thought I had a problem with this action listener. Ended up being a logic problem in the loop itself. And this is where I've ended up. I've got my alpha level at 0.2, obviously epsilon at 0.95, and I've got my decay rate set what I think is really high, but it seems to work really well. Just initializing all my weights to 0, or all my values to 0. Then I'm dropping in the start location. I'm initializing my E weights all to 0. Making sure that happens every time. And this is just conditional. Says if the color is white or dark gray, then or if it's not dark gray, set it to white. But when we come down here, this is for the exploration. I had another problem here. This was where I was having my problem of it not running. So this little guy right here just says if you're about to run off the grid, turn around, go the opposite direction. Same thing for all cases. And then this exploitation. Same thing here. If you're running off the grid, turn around, go the opposite way. Setting my row primes, setting A prime, calculating delta, updating my Q table and my E table. This is what you suggested. I'm averaging all of my Q weights and then painting based on the average. Then I'm resetting my space on the grid to the S prime here, and if I'm not at a obstacle or the goal state, I loop back through. And I'm decaying my epsilon value and running until it gets to a sufficiently small epsilon value. Enough about that, let's watch it work. Good. Alright, so like I said, it seems really odd to think of decaying that epsilon value so quickly, but it seems to work so much better. And I get good distributions. So let's go ahead and kill this. And I'm going to set this at a lower value just so you can see what I mean. I mean, I'm sure you already know, but still. So let's just set it at 0.5. And then run it again. So it still works, but I get less weight distribution and much thicker path And let's run it one more time, show you why I was beating my head against the wall for so long trying to optimize this thing. It's basically the problem that I was having earlier. See, it gets stuck up in the first barriers. And when I started out having the values set to -1, it would just sit there and run here and just get stuck right in here, or just in the first layer of obstacles, and it'd finally make it down here, and then it'd beat its head against the walls a little bit, and then it would just shoot up here, but it would all be red and blue. And just one more time for, no, good time's sake, whatever. And come on, guy. There we go, there we go. Now this is actually taking a lot longer than it usually does. And there's your path. Alright, I'll put it on YouTube.